36 on the trot, in fact, and their latest defeat came against the Rockets on Thursday night. Houston winning by 120 points to 98, and the Sixers have now equaled the worst run in the league's history. Philadelphia coach Brett Brown admits we're going through a tough time, but as CNN's Andy Scholes told me earlier, it's not just a coincidence. The team's losing streak is part of a plan.
You know what, Alex, it really is. They hired Sam Hinkie to run the team just last year, and he basically completely dismantled the roster they had. We have to remember, the Sixers just 2 years ago were a playoff team, and they actually won a series, but since then they have regressed. And in the NBA, if you're not a playoff team, the really only way to get better, if you're not one of the big markets like LA, New York, or Miami, is to basically be the worst team in the league and get a high draft pick. And that's why when we get to this part of the season, you see teams like the Sixers, the Bucks, the Magic, the Jazz. It's not in their best interest to win games. Losing is actually better for them. Then they end up higher in the draft lottery, better chance at getting that top pick. Now, the Sixers, they've lost 26 in a row. They're still not the worst team in the league right now. Amazingly, the Bucks have a worse record by 1 game. But this so-called tanking that teams do to try to get a higher pick at the end of the season has become a real big problem in the NBA. And new NBA Commissioner Adam Silver has said it's a problem that he would like to get fixed.
Yeah, because who wants to pay to see teams lose on purpose? So, Andy, what can the NBA do about it?
Well, there's one proposal out there, Alex. It's called the wheel system, and the website grantland.com really outlined what it's all about. Basically, the idea behind it would be no matter how good or bad you are, your pick for the next 30 years would be predetermined, and it's outlined to where a team will have a top 6 pick every 5 years and a top 12 pick every 4 years. Now, the idea behind it is to completely eliminate tanking, because there'd be no benefit to losing games at the end of the season like all these teams are doing right now, because you already know where you're picking the next year. Now, there are a couple drawbacks to this kind of system. For example, say the Miami Heat, say their turn to have the top pick was next season. Then they'd have LeBron, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, and a top pick coming in. It would make them basically an even more super team than they already are. And the other side of that, if you're a bad team, you get the top pick and you whiff on it and that player doesn't become a star, then you got to wait before you end up getting another high pick. So that would be another drawback to the system. But the big positive would be there would be no more tanking. There would be no more incentive to lose games late in the season like all these teams are doing right now.
Yeah, interesting to see if they can solve that tanking problem. Andy, thanks for telling us about it.